it's rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me? I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
X-ray season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that, hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I
for
hate
us.
these average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Hey, Grand Rising and good morning to all of y'all out there. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. Happy Thursday to you, or as I always like to say, Friday Eve. Get us good and ready for the weekend. I hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday thus far. You guys know we got a great show for you today, and we do this as a team up in here at Converge. Got to bring in my guy, my co-host with the most, Big O. What up, Big O?
Mr. Delgado, did you see that enthusiasm? She said, team, you know what I'm saying? Hey, go team.
Go team.
What's up, Bayana?
Hey, what's good, man? Feeling good today. How are you?
Hey, man, fantastic. I see it's Thursday. What'd you say, pre-Friday?
Yeah, no, it's Friday Eve, man. Friday Eve.
Friday Eve it is. Usually this is Throwback Thursday, but today we're going back to the future. You know, it's Build the Beach for us, by us. We got the whole crew here from Lighted Construction. We're talking about Rainier Beach. And you know, the best thing about these shows, these monthly updates is, man, holding the people in the process accountable. And it's really dope because, man, they show up.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we put them in a press, but it's always a good conversation, and we see like what's coming around. Today we've got darling Nava talking about Wimby stuff you know a lot about, right? We've got the big dog Tim Casad in the building. You know, learning about this guy's estimations and everything. You know, these guys, they bid on over $1 billion worth of construction every year. Wow. So I'm gonna get some tips from him. And then we've got the old regular crew. Patrick Mcglothlin is in the mix. Patrick knows the studio better than most people over here know it now.
Yeah, you know what? Patrick is tried and true, man. I mean, starting over at Rainier Beach, he's been with us the whole way, giving us these updates. I'm excited to dive into it with them. And honestly, like you said, keep the community engaged and keep these guys accountable to the things they're looking to do on this project.
Yeah, no, for sure. But before we go to break and we bring in Darlene, one of the things I think was not even that I think that I know has been important for us around this discussion about Rainier Beach is we ain't never want to be the proxy to the chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't. And for people out there, we will remind people, man, the chicken dinner. And that's why these shows are important and the communication is important. The chicken dinner is when you get the big construction company and they get all the black folks together there around the table and talk about this grand project that's going to happen and all these opportunities and everything else. And they usually really do serve chicken. And at the end of the day, it's just to check a box to say like, hey, well, we tried to do something with the black folks, but, it didn't work out. And the end result of that, Trey, is that so many people, we see the light start to fade in the eyes of people in our community who make up that construction ecosystem.
Yeah, this is why I think I've been using it every time they come on, but the word intentionality is so important here because it's not about that. And I think there is some work that Lydic has had to do to actually get itself away from that stigma because that is so well known in community and people get tired of it, man. It's like, we'll get a $25 gift card if we go and give our, opinion on a survey or, we go to this community meeting. But these guys are saying, no, look, we have real opportunities here and they're not just about low income jobs. These are livable wage incomes that they're looking to, impact the community with, particularly their apprenticeship program, bringing people right into these construction projects that Lydic is on. And it's more than just this one project at Rainier Beach. They're saying, hey, come and join our team. Get in on all of the construction
everywhere,
we're doing.
Right across the street from us, the federal post office right there across the street. I think that it was interesting because the very first show that we did around Rainier Beach was there at Rainier Beach High School. We had the custom shirts. Cuddy got the shirts for us and everything. But and we told was like, we finna put you in the press. We finna put you in a headlock over here, right, on the real. And I think one of the best answers to any question, and it's very rare that we've ever gotten this response from a developer, is this wasn't the exact words that Patrick said, but he was in a sense, he was like, man, I'm smart enough to know what I don't know. We're not here today to tell you guys everything. We're here to announce to you that we're wanting to listen to the community and tailor things to best fit the community. Because so many times people show up in the neighborhood and they already know what's best for us, what's this and that for us. And that's what really kind of just pulled me in on this, to be honest with you, because the approach was like, hey, hold on. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm not here to have all the answers. I'm here to listen and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. And also too, I think there's a real genuine nature that comes, and I've interviewed Patrick now so many times. There's a genuine nature that comes from like, look, we're really just trying to connect. We're trying to plug in. We're doing this. That's why we're coming here to Converge, right? Because they're like, look, they're not at King 5 or some other station. They're coming to Converge Media because they understand they need to be plugging in with those who are connected. And you and I are definitely connected to our community, and we wear that as a badge of honor all the time. And the idea is that Lydic Construction said, this is the way we need to go. This is the route we need to take. We need to be at community media with Converge and really partnering with them on this. It really showcases a lot of the intentionality again. And for me, that genuine nature, I agree 100%.
I'll tell you like this, Trey Holiday. I think that, yes, there's a measure of success, apprentices that go through, and a level of success for as many community members that we can get engaged in this project directly and indirectly. But I think for me, the level of success is if we can start to get the fire back in the eyes of so many in our community whose eyes have dimmed around contracting in here in this city. And so if an end result in this is that people are inspired again, believe again, want to invest in their business, want to, what I'm saying, get out there. They believe that there's opportunity, that they can grow, that they can leave a business to their child and build generational wealth. Like all of those things, a foundation of it is when people believe. And, we want to turn this situation around in Seattle for Black contractors, where contracting isn't a place where these dreams go to die, but where they're actually thrive. Right. And
Absolutely.
so if we can measure it there. All right. So we're going to take a quick break right now. And man, this is good. Man, apparently Darlene has so much to say. You might be the only person on the show today. We're going to take a quick break right now. Oh, there we go. Which one is it, Mr. Director? There we go. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, Trey's talking to Darlene Nava and talking Wimby stuff. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale, performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra, playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. Tickets and health and safety information at pnb.org.
You'll take
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. It's a lively crew here. We are happy to have you guys with us. We got Darlene Nava sitting with me right now to talk more about this Rainier Beach redevelopment project and to dive into the Wimby opportunities. Hi, Darlene.
Well, hello there. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you with me. And already you and I have been having a great conversation ever since you came into the studio today. But I want to really dive in. Let's talk a little bit about you and your background and how you got plugged into this project.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank Leidig first because I did start at Leidig Construction. I was with Leidig for 15 years and I wanted to do more, So I decided, I need to step out of the box. I need to really create an impact within the community and help others. And so after that, I know that Leidig was not too keen of me leaving, but I knew I have to do something. So I did. And I joined in a company, but it didn't turn out to be what I wanted. So I did it again, leap of faith. I went ahead and started my own company. So there I was helping helping a lot of the businesses, small business, because when I started to be certified with the city of Seattle and state certified, nobody was there to lend a hand. So I said, I promised myself, moving forward, I will do what I needed to do for the small business, is guide them, coach them. And so that's what I did. And I am so excited because I have met so many. I have helped over 200 businesses now, self-identified through the city of Seattle and state of Washington, and that state and federal certified. So
Wow.
so I'm just happy to help them.
Well, I got to say, I mean, I understand this process firsthand because before I came into community, I actually had a janitorial business with my then husband at the time. And, we had this janitorial business and it was like we were going to do this. We were both Black folks. We were like, okay, I was the main lead. So it was WIMBY certified. It was me, doing all this paperwork. And you're right. There wasn't much of a pathway, particularly for me to see others from the global majority in leading positions to help guide me along the way. And, yes, the Small Business Administration tries to do what they can. There are other programs that are kind of in bed there where they're like, hey, you can go over here, figure out a little bit more. But it was so disjointed. So you're saying, your company now is a one-stop shop where somebody like myself, if I have a small minority-owned, women-owned business, I get to come to you and really get assistance through the entire process.
And also because I'm also a consultant, it's just not Leidig, participating. It's also other firms that I'm working with and other colleagues that I have, so I introduce them. Yes, we might lose them. We might lose you as a janitorial, but guess you are growing with me and you started with us.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is that the foundation is really strong, so that's the reason why I'm doing this.
Well, it's so important. And I think, Omar and I were just talking a lot about this kind of genuine nature and the intentionality of Leidig, particularly on this project for the Rainier Beach development, the Build the Beach for Us, by us. How have you been really experiencing the characteristics of this union? Because I think it's been very unique in its own right, where it's blazing new trails, darling.
Yep, and that is true. First of all, whenever we do have outreach, I just kind of look around, and a very good example of an outreach is, let me use the homecoming. Yeah, and as you know, homecoming, who are you going to reach out to a homecoming football game? But I looked at it differently. To me, I looked at it as an opportunity to see who's out there. There were 2 mobile trucks that day on that homecoming. So I usually come out to the outreach event early because I want to see who's who. And so there's 2 mobile trucks, and they were, of course, African American. And I say, hey, I'm sure since you are operating in with a business license, I'm sure, would you be interested to be a small business city certified, self-identified? And they said, yeah. How do you do that? I said, well, let's go and talk after this. And one of them is Po Boy, and he is now self-identified through the city of Seattle.
Oh.
I mean, that's how you bring them in. And so hopefully when we get, the construction going, we invite them again, and, they will be providing and serving the contractors.
Wow.
That would be there. So nothing stops me from approaching, because all the least that they can say is no.
Yeah.
But there is no, because there's opportunity for everybody.
Well, this is exactly what gets me excited, because when you think about the breadth and the depth of a construction project as big and large as this, there's so much opportunity out there. And I think that's one of the things that has really resonated with me throughout our interviews with Leidig and with the whole team of Build the Beach for Us, by us, is the idea that, a food truck. We're talking about people that print T-shirts. I mean, they were opening my mind to some of the other opportunities that are embedded in this project. How do you feel that, this intentionality and even bringing you on board has really benefited the entire project?
This really benefits the project, not just because of me, it's because of the passion that I bring to the project. And I know that we can help them in every which way we can. And so that's to me is very important, you know? So I don't know what else I can say, but just keep looking for that opportunity for the next person. I know that we have few guests at the last outreach that was a supplier, but he's working for somebody. So I had a chat with him. I said, well, think about how about you doing it? Step out of the box, be a part of the community, and do something. And
Wow.
Okay, now we're talking, so I'm helping him develop that part. So
that's really amazing, because oftentimes there are so many barriers. And if, you know, business owners can identify where they can get the help that's necessary to eliminate those barriers, you're on a whole nother track. And you're talking about really investing now, not just in existing businesses, but in people, for them to be able to see themselves as a business owner and also as a viable, important part of this entire project. One of the things that we've talked about oftentimes when we bring you guys on for this project is that, you know, the community needs to be engaged and informed. And most often, you know, just construction projects, development projects don't center the community. And one of the things I think is so done impeccably well with this is that there's a real intentionality to center community on this. And so it's great that they have you on board to start engaging with minority-owned businesses, small women-owned businesses. All of that is important because it also helps not just with the diversity of the numbers that they do, but in terms of community pride, right? Like getting people that are from the community to really understand when development is happening around them, they have something that they can actually bring to the development. And I think breaking down that barrier is really important. How are you also being intentional about your efforts to be out there? You know, is it messages that you're putting out there? I know you're at the community engagement events. What other ways are you looking to involve other businesses in this project?
What I do, not just being on the outreach, is when wherever I'm at, even at the mall, you know, if I see somebody there that like this 2 weeks ago, there was a lady who was talking to this African American woman who was selling. She was selling all the African American products. She wanted to be a small business too. So I've been talking with her. Then the other lady who wanted to go and buy something happens to be a food truck. So I said, well, okay, so we're going to get together next week. And, you know, those kind of things. You don't see a lot of the opportunity just on outreach. It's everywhere. All you got to do is just ask. You know, and because they don't, some of the small business that had started a small business, they don't see what you see. Give them the opportunity, give them the chance to step in and just say, hey, this is how you can make extra money too. Right?
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I do know this coming weekend, there's going to be a soul market happening right there on Pier 62. We've been talking about it with our friends at the waterfront. So again, another gathering of small Black owned vendors, those from the majority owners of small businesses. And I know that there's people out there that do t-shirts. I know there's people out there that could benefit this project because they do catering, they do food trucks. There's a lot of different ways that people can get engaged and involved. Before I let you go, you got to tell the people right there in that camera, just let them know if they are a small minority women-owned business and they are looking to get engaged and involved with this project, how they reach out to you so that you can help them along the way.
Okay, well, first of all, to reach out to me, I'm sure that you will find on the program that my email address is outreach@darlingnava.com. And if you just want to just give me a call at 813-947-8586. If you have any ideas on to open a small business, just go ahead and give me a call or email me, because you don't know what's out there and you are just going to enjoy the opportunity of being a small business for the city of Seattle.
Wow. Amazing, darling. Thank you so much for your work in general and for your work on this amazing project. I love hearing that they got somebody like you involved, because you also got your own energy going on. And I'm with it all day. I'm with it all day. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it right there from Darling herself. If you're looking to get engaged, she left you the phone number to call and outreach@darlingnava.com. Please reach out. We know that there's a lot of people out there that just have an idea, and maybe you're wondering if your idea is viable as a business and you need that help. Darling is here to help you. And if you're trying to get engaged again with this project at Rainier Beach, this Build the Beach for Us, by us, there's another person who's going to be championing your efforts, and that is in Darling Nava herself. So you guys stay tuned. Right after this short break, we're bringing the big dog from Lighted Construction himself, Tim Casad, straight to the studio and to the set with me. Stay tuned. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
From Lincoln Center Theater that brought you The King and I and South Pacific comes a revival of the most perfect musical of all time, My Fair Lady.
Playing the Paramount Theater December 28th to January 2nd. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale, performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra, playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. Tickets and health and safety information at pnb.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and joining me right now, we've been saying the big dog at Lighted Construction. We got Tim Casad with me. What's up, Tim?
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah. Tim's like, oh, big dog. Well, you know what? This is really important, and I'm excited to really dive in with you. I was not here the last time you were on the Morning Update Show, so I'm so glad that I get a chance to sit down with you. I've been talking to Patrick since the beginning of them doing outreach here on the Morning Update Show and with Converge, and I want to just hear from you some of the intentionality you guys are taking on this project. But I understand it's not just about this Rainier Beach project. It's also really throughout Leidig.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a couple years back, I won't say it was a sea change, but there was a really significant decision that we were going to change how we were doing things. We had been successful previously with minority outreach, but it was not to the level we agreed that we needed to be at. And so we stepped it up. And so Rainier Beach was the first major pursuit. We have other projects we're going on right now that we're working very hard to make sure that the lessons we're learning as we're doing Rainier Beach, the efforts we're making, finding the good things and trying to amplify them, finding things that maybe didn't work as well and moving those to the back seat so that we can continue to develop a really robust effort on MWBE contracting, labor diversity on the workforce, getting young people into the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship program and getting them on our jobs, either with Leidig or our subcontractors. So we're just going to keep pushing. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. And I think that that's what's required right now, particularly as we were talking about at the top of the show, Omari and I, that there's this real, I think, distrust almost in the community. And that barrier has to be broken down in order for people to understand, no, this really is an amazing opportunity. And this is one of the companies that's looking to do business differently. How have you been able to kind of get that message out there kind of as you blaze this trail? Because there's not many construction companies that are being this intentional.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you said earlier in talking to Darling, or maybe it was Omari, you know, one of the things we wanted to do first was listen. You know, it's really easy coming in and saying, oh, we know how to do this or not. And we realized we really don't know. And so the first step we wanted to do was get in the community and listen. We've learned a ton. As you know, Darling's done a phenomenal job over the last few years, and particularly with us over the last 2 years, getting a lot of outreach, getting firms certified with the city or the state. You know, Darling, Pat, and I, every Monday from 3 to 5, we block that time out to meet with minority businesses. They get, you know, if they want to talk to us, find out about what we're doing, our projects, how they can help. We learn about them and what they can do. And so we've been doing that for over a year now. And I met well over 100 subs and suppliers. A number of those have gone on to work on Leidig jobs as subcontractors, which is great. We just want to continue to do that, increase the effort, increase the participation, and really keep listening. We just always got to keep our ears open.
Yeah, I think that's super important. And you know, we talk about it oftentimes here with regard to a number of issues, whether it's gun violence or, you know, the shortage in housing or, you know, community rooted solutions. But the fact that community actually has a lot of the solutions that folks like Leidig are looking for, right? Like, hey, there is a real specific way that construction work is done, but there's a lot of folks in community who want to get plugged in. And so giving them that opportunity and opening up the door to say, hey, we're here to listen, we're here to build relationship, I think it's really important. And that kind of takes me to my next question here, because, for me, I'm always telling Patrick, it's about relationship. We didn't want this to be transactional either. And we've been really like, hey, how are you guys doing now? Like, what are the numbers looking like? What is the community, meetings? How are they being attended? And I think that that's important. The consistency is key to that. As you think about your role specifically, how did you get to where you are today? Because oftentimes in construction, I hear a lot of people kind of start from the ground up and work their way up. What was your story, Tim?
That's kind of it. I worked for a construction company that did a lot of work in Alaska when I was in the summers of college, and I got done with school, and they asked me to come back to work for them, and I did. And so I spent a number of years traveling up to the North Slope of Alaska, and then I was back in Seattle, and I just I got bitten by the bug. It was something I really enjoyed. My degree is in philosophy, so it's really translates well to construction, but in reality it does. There's a lot of analysis in what I tend to do in my role, in looking at different ways to solve problems, different ways to take an approach that may not have been done before. And like I say a lot to the team, is like, I have a lot of stupid ideas, but once in a while I have a good one. And sometimes those good ones really help you grow as a company and help you do things like we're trying to do on Rainier Beach and for Seattle Public Schools.
Yeah. And that's a great segue, because my next thing was, how do you pick which projects you go after? I have some experience, right? My part of my degree is in urban studies, and I traveled Europe understanding how cities are built, right? And that was part of my study, and I really enjoyed it. But I also learned, wow, there's so much we have to learn in the States about caring for the people. Because when I was in Utrecht in the Netherlands, man, there was like one homeless lady that was in the square, their center square, but it was just one, and she'd be out there every day, maybe trying to, beg for some money, but it wasn't a plethora of people. And I just learned so much about what it was they were doing to do something different. So I love how you're talking about doing something different. How do you guys choose which projects you're working on? All of them may not be right for Leidig, right?
Yeah, well, we have, excuse me, we have a process where our management team, there are a lot of opportunities in the marketplace. We are a community builder. 85 to 90% of our projects are public work. So they are for the community, for the public. I think that we have right now a niche in K-12. We're doing a lot of work in the K-12 educational market. We have our office in Spokane as well, which is our corporate headquarters. And because the way the markets are a little bit different, they tend to do a lot of higher ed, and we don't do as much higher ed here. With that being said, we're always looking for projects that we either have or can develop a long-term relationship with the client. And the vast majority of our work is from repeat business with public clients. So what we want to do is find agencies and entities that kind of share our values, that we all want to do something better for the community, and we gravitate towards those type of projects.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think with this approach, being community centric, I mean, clearly, Seattle and up here, Western Washington, we have a plethora of construction projects happening. At one point in time, we had the most cranes, which I think we're always still in the top 5 or top 3 in terms of the nation. But I think it's really important that a lot of the approaches that you're taking, I wonder what can be done with some of these other construction companies to learn from you. Is there any way that you're able to share your knowledge with others who are in the business?
Yeah, I think some of that's happening a little bit naturally as a result of our efforts on Rainier Beach, that other contractors are taking notice and they're saying, oh, that's really interesting. I wonder if we could do something like that. So we're seeing it in some of our competition, that they have ramped up their efforts on diversity and inclusion. And so we've done some outreach and seminars, and Darling, of course, is always in the marketplace, and she talks to our competition as well. And so I think just being out there, being available, putting the message out, this is what we're doing. And as time moves on, maybe we share it in a larger, more formal situation with other contractors. But for now, we're just kind of getting out there and trying to do our business.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're at a level where I have to ask, how has this impacted you? Because I mean, if you talk about starting in college, right, and the way that business was done then, it's probably very different than the efforts you're leading now. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned along this journey?
Wow, that's a proper question, Trey. I guess the biggest lesson I learned is that I used to think I knew it all in my 30s and early 40s. And then I really learned that I didn't know very much. And I needed to be smarter about how I did things. I needed to be more receptive to others' thinking, other ways of looking at things. And that was more on just the contracting side. What the last few years have done with Leidig is it's really opened my eyes up to that kind of same open-minded thinking about what we're doing in terms of trying our outreach and gaining more participation from MWBE subs and really diversifying our labor force. And I think one of the things in construction is that the labor force itself is getting older and retiring. And like you said, there are a ton of cranes. There's a lot of work going on here. We have to replace those people. What's a really good, smart way to replace those people than getting young people who are interested in it, that can earn a really good living wage, and make sure you're getting to the community. You're getting to the Black demographic, you're getting to the Latina demographic, you're getting to the women, so that they see that this is an opportunity to build a life, to have a career, to be able to afford a future. And with that comes generational wealth. And so, I wasn't thinking those things 25 years ago. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Much growth here. And again, just the intentionality and the genuine nature that you guys are really going after this is felt by us here at Converge. And I can only hope that our audience is really feeling that every time you guys come on to give us an update. We're really excited about the breadth of this project in particular. And because you guys are used to doing public works projects, this must be in a litany of other things you have going on. What are some of the other things in the Leidig portfolio right now?
Projects that we have under construction right now is we're doing the second phase of Lincoln High School. We did the first phase, which was a large historic renovation. The second phase is less sexy. It's not historic, but it's a really important project to upgrade the auditorium and the gymnasium for Lincoln High School. We're also doing Northgate Elementary, a new ground-up school. We're doing a project down in Federal Way for the Lake Haven Water and Sewer District.
Oh, I know
which is a new corporate headquarters. Nice. Right next door, we're doing GSA Federal Office Building, another historic exterior renovation. And we just were awarded a contract to do the interiors for that. So those are the ones that jump off the top of my head. We have a couple other things going on, but those are the main ones.
Sounds like a pretty great portfolio. And again, you guys are saying, hey, to a lot of those apprentices that are coming in, not only will they get to work on Rainier Beach, but really get embed into the rest of your portfolio.
Yeah. One of Armando is working on Northgate right now. We have Israel down at Lake Haven. So we're trying to get these young people into the trades and get them on our jobs so that when Rainier Beach does really go to full construction, which will be next year, there's an opportunity for them to build within their community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tim, I'm so impressed with this intentionality. And this is the kind of stuff that really gives me hope when I think about the future, because we have to start eradicating the way that business has always been done that has really left out specifically those from the global majority. And so, or like non-white, demographics here.
Yep.
So I just love that you're here and that you're, being open to all of that. You mentioned earlier that, from 3 to 5, you and Darling are getting together. I want people to understand, if they are looking to maybe get on your docket, how do they do that and become a part of one of the businesses that you guys are talking to during that block of time you guys have open for them?
The best way is to email Darling at outreach@darlingnava.com. She sets up all our events. I would say we're, 3 to 5 Monday is about 90% of the time. Every once in a while we have a glitch, but we can always make room. And if you're interested, reach out to Darling. She'll get something set up, and Pat and I and Darling will all meet with you, and we'll find out more about your business, and you can find out more about us and what we've got going on.
Absolutely. Tim Casad, thank you so much here with Lighted Construction. Appreciate you showing up and appreciate you allowing me to just be candid and open with you. You know, these questions weren't sent to you ahead of time. So this is really us having a conversation. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, Trey. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, I always love to get inspired. I hope that this entire conversation with Tim and Darling has been inspiring to you. I get to follow it up with my guy, Patrick Mcglothlin. We've been having meeting ever since the beginning of this project. And honestly, I'm excited to dive in and see what he's been up to after this short break. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale, performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra, playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. Tickets and health and safety information at pnb.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday. And joining me right now is, as we wrap up this amazing Build the Beach for Us, by Us segment, is my guy, Patrick Mcglothlin. What's up, Patrick?
Not much, Trey. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you.
Good to see you. Happy to be here again.
Yeah, you know, you and I have been able to connect this entire time. And as I was just saying with Tim, you know, I'm inspired at the genuine nature and the intentionality, but that really started with you from the first segment that we did with you guys at Rainier Beach. And I said, after the show, I said, all right, Patrick, you know, we're not going to let up on these issues, but I really want to check in. How is it going since the last time you were here?
It's going great. Maybe I would say it didn't start with me. It started with the community before me, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we're just trying to do them justice. Things have been awesome. We, since last time we had an outreach meeting, in November, and actually it was one of the best meetings we've had. You could start to see some of the work being put in place. We had familiar faces, good vibes, and just positive energy, really continuing to connect and build those relationships with the businesses. And, you know, it's kind of been referred to a few times, but we are focused on this project, but we're really building long-term relationships. And, you know, at some point we have to bid, and not everybody can be on the job, but they can be on the next job or the one after that. And that is really what we're doing, is really building that long-term relationship with all these partners.
You know, that's important because as we've been saying it this entire time, I mean, the length of construction projects is no short feat. It's not small at all, particularly up here where there's so much redevelopment happening and there's so much going on. And oftentimes there isn't enough intentionality. And so I love how Tim was able to speak a little bit to how competitive groups that are competition with Lightic are seeing what you guys are doing and are maybe taking notice and deciding to do business a little differently. What is it you're hearing out there on the ground with regard to you guys' approach and how it may be impacting others?
Yeah, I think for maybe not what I'm hearing, but I think what we're trying to do is move the bar.
Yeah.
And everybody come get us, but we're going to do what we can the best way we can.
Yeah.
And so we're going to think outside the box. For the most part, if it's the way we've done it before, it's probably not the right answer right now. and how can we change what we're doing and base that on results, not just the chicken dinner.
Yeah, not just the chicken dinner. You're familiar with that concept a bunch because I know Omari from the
Not
gate.
until I was here, but Omari's taught me.
Yeah. From the gate, Omari was like, look, we can't do it. But really, there's this notion of just like checking boxes and it not mattering. And I was just talking to somebody earlier before I came back to the studio about some, interesting ideas that they have in the ID where they're really trying to hold, developers accountable to the communities that they're coming into and developing in. And this is why I love talking about you guys sharing out. It's almost like, I don't know if there's some type of construction convention. I know it happens in housing, it happens with community organizing. We all have these kind of different things involved in our industry, but how others can really understand the numbers of what you guys are doing and how it actually behooves them. Sometimes we have to talk in count and measure type of statistics in order for people to kind of get the gist of it. So one of the things that I'm really excited for with this project is that afterwards, you guys will be able to have this amazing kind of report almost. Are you thinking about that kind of as you think kind of toward the future? I know it hasn't broken ground yet, but as you're thinking about the ways you're doing business here, I know it's obviously impacting the rest of Lydic's portfolio, but are you thinking about, hey, how can we do some type of share out so that others can really understand what it means to embed yourself in the communities you're working in?
Yeah, I think it's already, I'm being a little coy maybe, it's already started, and there's definitely, groups that I find myself in with my competition, and whether it's workforce related, whether it's on the WIMBY side. And, at the end of the day, we have plenty to compete on, and this doesn't need to be one of those things, right? So it is happening in small groups in small ways. And I think that will only continue to grow. And I think I'm hoping that we're winning work and continue to win work based on our outreach efforts in large part. And our competition will hear that, and they will then, react however they need to. If they want to get on board, I'm an open book. Come talk to me. Like I said, we don't need to compete on this piece because it's not going to get us where we want to go as an industry.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Absolutely. That the more you guys win certain bids based on you guys' approach, others will inevitably take notice because that means that they're thinking, wait a minute, something they got going on is some magic sauce, a magic equation, but it's not that. It's really this intentionality and building relationships. As you've been out here now it's been several months, Patrick, what are some of the relationships you're really excited that you've been able to kind of dive in with? I mean, you've been bringing amazing people to our show, I know, with relationships you're making, but maybe you have some that you're like, you know what, this has really been a huge win for Lydic and for that person, just a symbiotic relationship that's being built.
Yeah, a couple come to mind. Really the two apprentices we were able to get through the program that were from or graduated from Rainier Beach are excited to be in the workforce and have that motivation to work on their school and their projects. And both their stories are awesome. Just great young men that are kicking ass out in the field. And I think they're enjoying what they're doing and really looking forward to that. That's an awesome story so far, and it's only going to be better. They have a long way to go in their apprenticeship and to journey out, and that's really what we're trying to get them to. But that story in particular is great, and I think the other one, similarly on the WIMBY side and subcontractors, we haven't awarded work yet, but we're building a large pool of minority contractors. But specifically, we have a handful that have graduated from Rainier Beach as well, whether they're an athlete there or just went to school there. But we can't guarantee everything, but there's a high likelihood that some of them will be able to work on the project. And that's going to be really cool to see, the community literally building, their school. So hasn't happened yet. We've got a boatload of work to do between now and then. But I think that is what, if we can make some of those happen, that's gonna be great stuff.
Yeah. And we've been able to really kind of be ahead of this because we started these discussions so much far out from like even a groundbreaking or you awarding contracts. What are some of the big things that you have between now and then that really have to be kind of taken care of as you guys continue to build relationships, continue to have community engagement meetings? But what are some of the things that fall on your plate, Patrick, in terms of like moving this entire project forward?
I mean, the biggest thing is actually what we have coming up is our first bid packages, the actual first scopes of work that we'll be publishing and getting bids on. And so really technical, fundamental stuff, I have to put that together. Pretty boring. What we really want and why we're out here is input from the community on those packages. Great example is one piece is demo and abatement. And you could have a debate of, should we bid that to two separate contractors? Should those be bundled together? But the real question is, what approach is going to achieve the best participation from a WDBE standpoint? And those types of questions are what we want input on. And so we talked last month about the scopes of work. If anybody attended those, come talk to us. Say, hey, if you bundle this, I can't bid this. Or if you have this requirement, I can't participate. Or, I don't understand this process. Let me know what's happening. And so that we're just continuing. We do not know it. Come talk to us and help us.
Yeah, that's really important because, like Tim was saying it, Darling was saying it, that you guys really are still in this really heavy listening mode to make sure that what you guys put forth is something that is reflective of that community engagement process and the community's voice being loud and clear on this project. And, I was talking about it a bit with Darling there, that there's such a wide variety of ways for WDBE businesses, businesses from the community, those from the global majority. I love to say global majority and not BIPOC, right? But I'm talking about non-white communities that are like, hey, there's a wide range of ways for folks to get engaged and involved. How have you been seeing the community engagement process? You said some people are returning to the community engagement meetings. How have you been able to walk away maybe from you said the last one was one of the greatest ones. It sounds like it's kind of building on itself as more and more people get to understand you guys are intentionally out here every month to connect with community.
Yeah, I think, Ashley's coming to mind. She has a trucking and street sweeping business, and she's attended at least 2 of the meetings now, and followed up with one-on-one sessions, got us pricing sheets, and really doing the work on her side to be in a good position to take advantage of the opportunity. And so as we build more and more of those relationships, those are the things we see as we continue to, keep coming back to this. It's not the chicken dinner. It's not the one meeting and we said we did our thing. We're really trying to build that. And then the best part is I get to take that relationship right to the next project, right? Yeah. So it's not sorry, you didn't get this project, we're done now.
Yeah, this is something that really gives me so much hope, to be honest, because I'm always thinking about how do we eradicate systems that do not work? How do we advocate for systems of change? And it's all in the actualization of it, right? Like we can theorize about it all day long. We can be in community meetings or in our industry meetings and, sit and talk data back and forth. But it's not until we actually get out in the community, do something different, showcase a new pathway that it even matters at the end of the day. And that's one of the things that I think I get the most excited about when I know that you guys are coming on, because I get to dive into that. And it's a real tangible thing right now that's happening. Patrick, I asked him this, but I got to ask you, how are you feeling about all of this work that you guys are doing? What is some of your biggest takeaways from all of this?
Good question. I should have thought when you asked him that, huh? I think maybe I'll go on how I'm feeling. That I think anytime you're working, to make some significant change in our world, that is what we're trying to do. I think you have ups and downs, and you just got to keep pushing through, working towards a goal. But there's those little highs. And to be honest, every time we're in here, it's motivating to just push you on for the next month. That meeting last month with the community was really positive. Anytime I'm on site and get to just say hi to Orlando for a minute and checking on him, it's positive. So all those little things are what just keep pushing. And so that's, I think, what you build off. You definitely are going to have the lows. Not everything's going to work out to what we want it to do, but we've got to keep pushing and moving forward and get to that goal.
Absolutely, Patrick. And I so appreciate your intentionality. As we're here, what is the next details on the next community engagement session? Are you guys taking a lull for this month in December? What does it look like for people to stay engaged?
Yep. Actually, Thursday, December 16th at 6 p.m., buildthebeachforusbyus.com will be the next outreach event. We're, again, focusing on the first bid packages that will be coming up. It'll be in the next few weeks, likely right after the first of the year, those will be published. But similar topic to last month, but really want to provide a little more detail on the scopes of work. And again, just provide as much opportunity as possible for the community to come engage with us.
Wow. Thank you so much, Patrick, for being here on the Morning Update Show once again, and for continuing your intentionality, even in building a relationship with us here at Converge. Means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the crew and the team here. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for giving us that info.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate you guys, and we're Yep, we're honored to be here.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it right there from Patrick. It's going to be on the 16th of December at 6 p.m. If you're looking to get engaged, if you're looking to get informed on this project, maybe you have a small owned business, and you're like, hey, I want to figure out if my business qualifies, if there's something that is needed from me and from what I provide. Please go to buildthebeachforusbyus.com so that you guys can get engaged and stay informed on this project. Again, we here at Converge, we want this money to be coming into our communities. We want there to be a plethora of global majority-owned businesses that are going after these contracts and that are inspiring others to do the same. So please go to buildthebeachforusbyus.com to make sure that your business and your idea, like you said, hey, maybe you don't have one yet and you can work with Darling to get there. Go there and get some inspiration and get a part of this project. They want it to be community rooted, and that's the only way to do so. Again, you guys, I get to bring my guy, Big O, back to the set after this short break. Thank you so much for watching thus far. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Basic Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale, performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra, playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. Tickets and health and safety information at pnb.org.
From Lincoln Center Theater that brought you The King and I and South Pacific comes a revival of the most perfect musical of all time, My Fair Lady.
Playing the Paramount Theater December 28th to January 2nd. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and joining me back on the set is my co-host with the most, Big O. What up, Big O?
Yeah, man. You know, it's always so informational, educational, these episodes here. And learn a lot. We see that now, the phase, these bid packages, man, and people, now's the time. We put the awareness around the different trades that are in there. We talk to plumbers and electricians and things like that. It's the bid packages. This is kind of the signaling, like, hey, all right, this is game time. We was in pregame, we was doing warm-ups, doing a little bit of stretching and everything else. That bid package is now what goes in there. And that's why, the timing is right. Why you have somebody like Darlene who's here, because, a lot of times that's that first hurdle for our community is when we get that bid package and, it's like 700 pages of this and that and everything else. And, so many times in our community, a lot of people in the construction industry or ecosystem are solopreneurs. and it's either you got to spend time driving the one tow truck or a dump truck that you might own, or you fill out this paperwork, which is now a mountain full of paperwork. And the reason why it's important, and these guys have been on this, I'm going to just relay this to the public, is they're given advance notice. So it isn't the middle of the night. What? The bid package is out? Oh man, it's due tomorrow. Nah, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to reinforce that now we're going into game time. It's the bid package, and then the money's coming into play. And not only is the money coming into play, and it's like you're on your own, we're saying the money's coming into play. There's a resource for you here. That Darlene is here, and all the people that she's working with, and everything else. And you know, this isn't a chicken dinner. This is a whole meal, but we have to be willing to sit down at the table and partake in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is why, when we talk about them really looking to build relationships, it's important. And it's important for us to be engaged in these processes. I think oftentimes, too, when you walk away from something like this and being able to work on something as historic as Rainier Beach High School, and realizing that, man, they have an opportunity right now to engage the most, globally, global majority owned, contractors, period, on any project. That's the kind of stuff that really is like, oh man, no, you can do it, but it means you guys have to be involved. You have to be engaged. If you know somebody who has a contracting, subcontracting, a construction style business, whether it's in steel, plumbing, electrical, construction, general contracting, all of that right now is up for grabs. And I encourage you to make sure you share this interview, share this stream and this story with those of you who maybe it's somebody in your family that they're not sure what they want to do yet. There's an opportunity for them to get engaged in the trades and do it with a real guided hand. So those barriers are now being knocked down. So it's on us to participate. Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they've even said it, for us, by us.
Yeah.
Build the beach. All right, before we get out of here, so a few things. I see you got on a Debonair Decor sweatshirt there.
Hey man, we gotta give it up for my guy. Shout out to Phoenix. Phoenix gifted me this. But this is also shout out to my guy Kyle, right there at Pacific Place. If you guys have not stopped by Debonair Decor, look at this. This is classic, man. This is Kemp. And this is Michael Jordan watching Sean Kemp at his finest, okay? So shout out to you over there at Debonair Decor, your entire team, Kyle. I know you've been working so hard to get this brand off the ground, and we're so proud of you here at Converge Media. I know Basa's interview with them just dropped earlier this week, right?
Yeah, on Monday. Basa dropped her interview there. You can check that out across any of our platforms, including Instagram. And then tomorrow, it's a very special Feel Good Friday hosted by G. Prez Aspie.
Yeah, G. Prez himself. He's going to be tapping in with our good partners and friends over there at Friends at the Waterfront, talking about the soul market. He's going to get to interview a couple of the vendors that are going to be out there. Shout out to you, Prez, because I know it's going to be a feel good energy for sure.
Hey, listen, when we was in Belize, the last night we was there, we was at a restaurant. I bought a big old bottle of champagne. It was very expensive down there. Bought a big old bottle of champagne, and I had to give Prez the bottle of champagne for MVP. So like anywhere, I've done stuff with him around the world. So when I knew we were going to Belize, I was like, man, this guy needs to come with us. But his job down there in Belize was logistics and everything else. And man, he kept his hands full. He took T-Dub over there to Bella Vista for a show. We had somebody lose a passport. I'm not going to say their name on air, but he coordinated with the embassy and everything else and took them to the Capitol, to the embassy to get a new passport, took people back and forth to airports, everything else. The true MVP, man. Don't go anywhere in the world without Prez. We're fortunate he's going to be here tomorrow hosting Feel Good Friday.
Yeah, you know what? I'm telling you right now, his energy was everything. We were so like, oh my gosh, we got to do this, we got to do that. Prez was easy going the entire time. Prez like, no, don't trip. We got it.
And he hooked up with all the local, like all the best parties. We'd be like, where you at, Prez? Oh man, I'm here in Down Griga at a house party. House party? How you? We only been in town 3 hours.
It was like we left there. People knew Prez's name for sure.
They know him better than they know us. All right, look, it's top of the hour. time to get out of here. Any last words?
Oh, for me, you guys, be inspired. See yourself as part of the solution. Lighted Construction is doing just that. And even when you think you work in an industry that is antiquated or full of age-old systems that really are built on systems of oppression, you guys can choose to do something different. Lighted is doing just that by being a real example and a gem in our community of intentionality and their genuine nature to embed themselves in community, particularly with this project, but with their entire portfolio. So please be inspired and see yourself as a part of the solution.
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna do something we really don't do much here. And for this, around this project, Rainier Beach and everything else, man, people call me. You know what I'm saying? Actually, probably get a better response in email, but I'll put my email here, Omari, OMARI, at whereweconverge.com. Call me, or you could text 206-335-5134. Because, like, I really want people who got questions, who are on the fence and everything else. You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect opportunity for us to get the light shining back in people's eyes. And so, you know, I'm willing to take the time to discuss and everything else. You reach out to me personally. I got time for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for that, because people need it. We all do.
Good stuff. Well, on that note, my friends, you, like I said, you'll see G-Press here tomorrow. And man, it says Swing One might be around. A few other things. It's going to be comedy.
It's going to be good.
On that note, want to remind you, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until Monday at 11 a.m. with the Nutcrackers. Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.